Infinix's growing reach in different markets worldwide has certainly put a spotlight on the brand, and this is pretty obvious with the launch of the Note 40 Pro Plus. Now, we've had a chance to use the Infinix Note 40 Pro Plus, and I just want to share with you guys some of my thoughts on this smartphone. And if you're interested in trying it out, maybe this video can help you make an informed decision about your purchase. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, so let's do a quick rundown of the specs on this phone. We have a curved 6.78-inch AMOLED display. We have a MediaTek Dimensity 7020 chipset inside, up to 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage. You get a 108 megapixel primary lens, a couple of 2 megapixel sensors, and a 32 megapixel front-facing camera. Alright, so one look at the Note 40 Pro Plus design, and it's pretty obvious that Infinix has developed the phone to look and feel more premium compared to its other Android phones. Now, we do have the vintage green model here, which features a vegan leather texture on the rear panel. It does look and feel nice in hand, and it comes with IP53 certification for a bit of added splash resistance. Now, the phone's display is moderately bright, and it does peak at up to 1300 nits of peak brightness. Of course, one consideration though is the curved display, which will be a subjective matter for some users who might prefer a phone with a flat screen instead. Now, one particular thing that I noticed was that the hole punch software cutout seemed misaligned no matter which app was displaying on the screen, and while I could mostly ignore it, the misalignment did seem distracting at certain times. That aside though, the phone does feel like a well-built device, and it isn't too heavy for everyday use. Now, as we mentioned earlier, the Infinix Note 40 Pro Plus is powered by a MediaTek Dimensity chip inside, along with 12 gigs of RAM. Now, for daily use, there's not much to complain about here, as the phone easily handles multitasking, scrolling through your apps, and navigating through the user interface. And yeah, it's a pretty strong point of the phone, and it works nicely for most apps and games. Now, speaking of gaming, users looking to run some graphics-intensive games on the phone will have very little issues, as it does manage to handle titles like Genshin Impact, although not without a bit of stuttering every now and then. It does tend to get warm after a while, which is something to take into consideration. Now, for software, the phone does ship with Android 14, as we mentioned earlier, although it does come with XOS, which is Infinix's custom Android skin. It comes with several third-party apps and software, and if you're used to heavily modified versions of Android like this one, then you'll feel right at home, as it does come with a ton of customization options for users. For software support, it's expected to get up to 2 years of software updates, alongside 3 years of security updates. Now, given the phone's price, this isn't very surprising, but it would have been nice if we've gotten up to 3 years of major Android upgrades. Now, for camera performance, the phone mostly gets the basics right. Coming from a Google Pixel phone, there are of course some big differences, and I had to adjust my expectations with this device. It does manage to do a decent job in terms of overall photo quality. There's enough dynamic range with subdued highlights, and close-up shots look impressive with pretty good detail. Again, given the price of the phone, there are some downsides to camera performance. For example, the front camera can present soft details in most photos, so lighting will play a major role in how good your self-portraits look. In general though, for most consumers, after a decent performing smartphone camera for casual use and social media posts, the Note 40 Pro Plus will get the job done. Now, the Infinix Note 40 Pro Plus does ship with a bundled charging brick in addition to a wireless charger, which is a very rare sight in most smartphones these days. And for people after a phone that can replenish its battery in a short amount of time, the Infinix Note 40 Pro Plus is a very ideal smartphone. As we mentioned earlier, the phone does support 100-watt wired fast charging and 20-watt wireless charging. And yeah, if you're in a pinch and you don't have that much time to charge your phone, this will definitely come in handy. And in general, the phone will be able to last you a day. But again, factors including 5G connectivity, constant GPS use, screen brightness, as well as gaming will have an impact on your overall battery endurance. In general though, it's enough to hold its own, and the fast charging capabilities are of course a much welcome feature. Now, for a price of around $300, the Infinix Note 40 Pro Plus 5G faces competition from other devices like the Redmi Note series, as well as Samsung's A series phones. Compared to these, the Note 40 Pro Plus fast charging capabilities and the terrific looking screen are major factors to consider it over the competition, and of course, the Dimensity chip inside doesn't hurt either. It's not a perfect phone though, and camera quality will be a subjective matter for some users, as well as the heavily modified version of Android inside. But at the end of the day though, if decent performance and battery are your main priorities, then the Infinix Note 40 Pro Plus is undoubtedly a good consideration. Alright guys, so that does it for this quick video. Let me know your thoughts about this smartphone in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our other videos here on Team VRY. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.